So, hello guys. There's a new twist to this Ifunanya story, and I think it is worth um, listening to. When we saw the story, every one of us became so scared for our tomorrow. And because we are parents, we become so interested. Because most of us have partners, most of us have gone through some things about marriage and all that. It became a story that became very sensational, and everyone wants to listen and wants to see the end. Number one, last night when we were doing the show, remember somebody reminded us that this issue happened 3 years ago. So I saw a post somewhere trying to, so that person really knows them, and that person was trying to say some things. But before I go into that, one of the questions that was raised was, why is Ifunanya coming out now to tell the story? What is the situation and in the health condition of the dad? What does she want to achieve by coming out now? Did she say the whole truth? Those are some of the questions. And the person pointed out that Ifunanya's dad and mom has been separated since 1999. That's a long time. And also, the person also mentioned that Ifunanya did not show us the true picture of that video of what really happened. And most importantly, that person tried to say that they are fighting over Ifunanya's daddy's pension as it is, that the government is refusing, or wherever he works with, is refusing to pay the pension due to the problem between all of them, that could be the reason why she's releasing those videos to the public. And also the person, as usual, I was expecting that anyway, try to say Ifunanya is trying to build a fan base and she has achieved that. But the question is, did it really happen the way they say it? Is it true? Was it true that the family maltreated the man in his vulnerable state? And another thing, Ifunanya's daddy has serious dementia, according to what I read today. And somebody mentioned that yesterday, that Ifunanya said it. And the man does not even know where he is. His situation has really seriously deteriorated. And, well, let me read what I saw. I saw it on a particular page, but unfortunately the page is privatized. So I saw it where it was shared. Sorry, I saw it where it was shared. I tried to check the page, but the page is not the page that you can see. It's a profile. So it's not something where you can see everything being done on that particular page. So where I saw it, that particular person, and you will see the name, actually have a lot of updates on the story. Initially, that person was flowing and emotional like us until the person too began to ask some questions. Now let us go into what I saw. I am very happy to be alive at this dispensation where you have phone. This is our phone. But before I go to the usefulness of this phone, let's go straight to talk about what I saw and what one Chris Mokwa, who said is the brother of Peter Mokwa, said, that is father of Ifunanya. So it started from that page. Unfortunately, they said his page is restricted, so you may not get to see. Somebody actually took this post and I saw it on that place on Facebook. Chris Mokwa said, I woke up this morning with a class from a friend from Port Harcourt. And after reading, the guy doesn't understand English very well, so let's manage it. He said, I woke up in the morning with a class from a friend from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, asking me to check Facebook and see what is on. I saw a post trending with a half-truth and well-composed lies meant to reframe, castigate, and paint my whole family as murderers. The first blogger said, I want the world to hear. I don't know what that means. Peter Mokwa is my brother's name, from same father and same mother. The life of Peter Mokwa is one that does not have a pleasant beginning. He married late, trying to meet up in life. He could get a good wife, suitable at that time, and everybody was asked to put eyes. My mother, a devout Catholic, found a girl who always come to morning mass. Peter's marriage was like living with a beast, which later resulted to divorce. The first son born to Peter was 7 months when Peter came to the hospital. He asked and he said 9 months. He carried the baby and prayed that if this baby is his, let him follow the mother home. If not, let the baby go back. In less than 15 minutes, he left the hospital. The baby died. Peter left USA with a briefcase. He was properly taken care of. The problem with Peter is drinking. Most times it was Joe that would pick him up on the road. After drinking, he refused to eat. The daughter, whom everyone is praising now, came to the village without lifting her hands once to clean up her father. What she can do was to calculate how much plate of food cost and the reason why he couldn't eat more than twice. She traveled back to USA and refused sending the father pension. Reason that he said he's wasting money. I wish to tell the world here that this girl has refused to work since many years of graduation. She used her father's money to take a title from the village, used same money to bribe the law enforcement agents to invade the family house, and branded everybody a kidnapper, a case she could not be able to prove. She told the world that stones and sands were outside the gatehouse, and at the same time said a new house is being built. Where on earth is said stones and sand supposed to be? Like mother, like daughter. Peter removed her from handling his pension because of her wasteful spendings. Peter's money goes into his accounts. The first thing she did was to rush and collected all his arms and checkbook. The family you are blackmailing, you will one day turn as to the earth remain. Stay tuned. So that was what the guy said. And of course, so many people, and from that particular page where I saw this post, the person also posted some other things about this incident. Let me read it to you. Then I just say a little something. Then you tell me what you think about the development coming up on this case. So looking further, searching further, I saw this post again. That person wrote, I think it was an argument back and forth. He said, "Dear brother, I mentioned earlier, I said the family clearly failed by not allowing Ifunanya access to her father, and they deserve the blame for that. However, on the other hand, some questions need to be answered. For instance, why did her father revoke the power of attorney initially given to her and transfer it to his brother in the USA? That means at a point, Ifunanya was in charge of the power of attorney and the father took it from her to transfer to the brother." That person is asking that question. He said that move raises suspicion. According to reports, it was because she allegedly stopped sending him money and became unreachable, even ignoring his call. That is, Ifunanya ignoring the father's call. That was what supposedly prompted the revocation. Also, how many times did she visit his father throughout his stay in Nigeria? Why did she choose to return only when his gratuity was about to be released? And what was behind her apparent fear that her father might reject her on sight? The reason she reportedly asked him, "Daddy, do you love me?" We even heard that she claimed the Holy Spirit told her not to go earlier because her father would disown her because he is under juju. And after prayers, she was later led to go see him. This kind of spiritual claims give one pause. In fact, in one of the videos, she said her father was happy to see his brother, which was true. Remember, the video we listened to yesterday, was happy to see his brother, the same brother who currently holds the power of attorney. So if he was genuinely happy and sound, why didn't he sign the power of attorney back to her? Frankly, I began to take a deeper interest the moment she repeatedly invoked the Holy Spirit to justify her actions. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. The kind of rhetoric has been misused far too often by people trying to cover up misdeeds or manipulate emotions. It made me pause and listen more carefully before jumping to conclusion. That person went on and said, again, while I maintain that the family was wrong to deny her access to her father, it is likely that anger and bitterness slamming from past events caused that division. Still, the saga has layers. Another issue. This incident reportedly happened in 2022. Why wasn't the video released then? Why wait until now, after her aunt Josephine is dead and the father is no longer mentally sound, to release it? Why wasn't the video made public when the father could still speak for himself, or when people could have asked Josephine her side of the story. Releasing the video this late creates a narrative that only one party can explain, and that is dangerous. As for me, I believe in hearing all sides clearly before forming an opinion. I don't follow crowd blindly, and I certainly won't be swayed by emotion or sensational claims. This person said, truth must be rooted in fact, not selective storytelling. For those who is asking what interest I have in this case, Enugwu-Ukwu, my town, is on the news for the wrong reason, and we shall get the whole truth. And to do that, we must get every detail from all that is involved. Like Chiamanda Adichie said, it is dangerous to listen to one side of the story. So this is what this person wrote. And I think this man, I don't know what to think. Does this man, is he making any valid point? Like he said he's not excusing the fact that they did not allow Ifunanya to see her father. But he said because of several problems they've had that was underground before was one of the reasons. That why didn't Ifunanya talk 3 years ago when Josephine was around to say her own side of the story? You know, that why is she now the only one talking? And the father, at a point, the father took this, what is it called again, from Ifunanya to give to the, took it from her to give to the brother. You know, there is a lot to this story. Like we keep saying, you know, I asked some question in the last video. I said some things are not just adding up, even though I am kind of emotional about the issue. I'm kind of very, very kind of scared, and I like, oh, may this not happen to anybody. But there are some things that actually call for questioning why the brother could be happy. She said it, and I'm going to include it in this video, where she said the father was happy to see the brother, and the brother was ready to give him back the power of attorney until she came in at that moment and stopped everything. And we saw the fight in that place when they had issues. So, more information on this story, more write-up, more questioning. So this particular person still wrote on his page. I think, like I said, he said it's from the same place where the story started from. And they are not going to keep quiet because they are in the eyes of the world for the wrong reason. So I want to be sure that as time goes on, more will still come out. So from what I am going to read to you now, which I'm still going to place as usual, this person said it's time to speak up. Information reaching me suggests that Peter Mokwa is currently suffering from dementia. The entire situation appears to be a struggle over his pension fund. Reportedly, Peter had previously granted power of attorney to his brother. However, his immediate family is now seeking to have that authority transferred to them. As it stands, none of the parties involved can access the pension funds. According to US regulations, the fund cannot be released to Peter's family unless Peter personally revokes the existing power of attorney in writing and assigns a new one. Unfortunately, his dementia has severely affected his memory and cognitive ability, making it impossible for him to issue such directive. In response, Peter's family filed a legal case in Nigeria through Ifunanya, requesting a Nigerian court to nullify the power of attorney so that they can gain access to the pension. There are allegations that Ifunanya had initially been managing her father's pension, sending in portions of it. However, over the time, she stopped sending money and became unreachable. In reaction, Peter, which is father Ifunanya's dad, allegedly wrote a letter stopping the fund from going to her, and instead transfer power of attorney to his brother. He then asked his brother and sister to build him a house using the funds. Sadly, before this could be completed, he suffered a stroke followed by the onset of dementia. It has also been alleged that Peter's sister, while working for Nkwocha, diverted parts of Ide's money to sponsor Peter's travel abroad. This allegedly led to her imprisonment by Ide, which ultimately ruined her chances of marriage until her death, remained single. We also gathered that Peter's wife divorced him back in 1999. It was said to have been paying alimony to her while working in a local government office in the US, where he reportedly didn't earn much. With no major investment to his name, he returned to Nigeria in 2020 while his wife remained abroad with his children. Upon his return, his brother and sister were the ones caring for him, and together they began constructing a house in the family compound based on Peter's instructions. He reportedly didn't want to return as the first son without having a house of his own. His siblings have also been said to be using traditional methods to manage the stroke condition. These stories are not coming directly from Peter's family, but from several individuals in Enugwu-Ukwu who have reached out to share their own version of events. So the person said, Akuko Kariri, the story is getting too much. In the Enugwu-Ukwu, we have had many sides. It's time to speak up. Those youth who witnessed this event, we need your account. To those who've been calling me, it's time to speak publicly. I have had enough. So the person said, I'm simply sharing the information as received. I am not taking sides or defending anyone. This is a serious one. And like this person said, if we want to be truthful and honest with ourselves, the parties involved know the truth. And the person that really know the truth, is Mr. Peter. At this point, I am not saying, I am personally, you know my stand, I'm not saying the way that man was treated was okay. I'm not confirming anything. We saw where that girl was screaming and shouting, daddy, daddy. We saw when she said, we heard when she said, do you love me, daddy? Do you know I love you, daddy? Do you love me? Things like that and all that. Now let us put sentiment aside, for real, for real. The only person, I repeat, who knows the truth of this story is Peter, the real victim in this case. About whether pension, either they are fighting for pension, either they are fighting for any other thing, either at a point he was neglected, either at a point. Then that person mentioned another thing that I didn't remember to screenshot. He said, Peter has his son too. Why was it that it is only Ifunanya that came? That question I can't answer. You know, it was Ifunanya, and I think they said the boyfriend or something, I can't remember, that came. And they said they want to dig deeper into this case. Hopefully they do. Because honestly, this is scary for every one of us. All of us became scared, especially we in diaspora, who will be thinking that one day we want to go back home. That if this can happen, and of course, we should not still rule it out that things like this are actually happening. We may not hear about them, we may not be party to them, but it is actually happening. But this one, I think this one, because this one we could see that scream, especially that scream of Ifunanya, daddy, daddy. Each time I remember that scream. But honestly, this calls for a lot of questioning. Where I said in my last video, I said, how is it, why is it so possible? Why is that brother so confident with everything that happened in Nigeria, confident to still go to this man? Why is that brother not fighting for his brother? Why is he not asking questions concerning how the brother was said to be treated? Don't forget, I did that video yesterday. I didn't even know I was going to see this. I saw this. If you look, if I tell you the time I'm recording this video, this is actually 1 p.m. I mean 1 a.m. that I'm recording this video. So for you to know, I was just scrolling through as usual and I saw it. I said, what's going on? And I read the whole thing and I be like, wow, another dimension. So we don't know what is going on, but we are following. We are not defending Ifunanya as it is. We are not defending the family. We are neutral. We want to learn from this. We want to know how this is happening among families and why the father, Ifunanya said something. He said daddy was happy to see his brother. Why was the and he was still okay by then? Don't forget. Why was he happy? At a point I mentioned, I said the father could even still talk in one of the videos. Why was this man happy to see his brother, knowing the ones in Nigeria treated him bad? Why did he embrace him so fast? Why did he embrace him so well? And why was he ready to sign power of attorney? The person said Ifunanya should upload an unedited video she has. We want to see the faces and hear the voices, the interaction, the altercations from every voice on that video, not the short clips. We all know those videos are edited. They are just short clips that may not portray the 100% story as it is. Those are short clips and they are edited kind of little videos. So that person said she should upload the full unedited video, you know. And I think this makes sense. Hopefully she gets to see all these things that they're putting, because it seems the story is now spreading. The people from that village are talking, but maybe as usual it will die down. But who knows the full truth? Mr. Peter is the only one who knows the full truth of this story. Josephine is no more. She has gone. And I think Mr. Gabriel, maybe many of us will not be able to be ready to listen to Mr. Gabriel's part of the story too. But one thing is certain: if truly that man was maltreated, from the little we saw, then that calls for questioning. She said she saw her father's nails very long, the beards very long. I would have expected some, but hey, I am not doubting her, but this is what I saw, and I think it is normal just to update you that this is what I saw and what you think about the whole thing going on. Remember last night we were questioning some things. We started questioning something about the story that why will your father still be comfortable with this man? What audacity? That is what even baffles me. How can somebody have that kind of audacity knowing somebody was treated badly and this child does not want you near the father? So apparently they've been fighting for long, from what I can now start deducing from the story. The fight has been on since forever. But Mr. Peter is the only one who can tell the story. I nearly missed another point, another version from somebody, one Michael Emilia, that I saw on the post also. He said, absolutely, there are more to this incident. I sense a strong family dynamics in both the immediate and extended family. However, the extended family was wrong by not letting her into the father's compound and not giving her access to the dad, and not have taken great care of their own brother, irrespective of the children not actively getting involved. So meaning that probably the children were not involved the way the family wanted it, and because of that abandoned the brother, which is very wrong in their own parts too. Like two wrongs don't make it right. That's what this person is trying to say. The person went further and said the extended family seemed dangerous, angry towards their mother and the children for whatever reason best known to them. Now the person went further and said Ifunanya's actions seem a bit biased. He said, number one, why does she have to tie up a scarf each time she's sharing the testimony? Whereas this is not her real personality. Look her up on TikTok. Number two, what does she mean by the Holy Spirit this, the Holy Spirit that? It seems ideals and emotionally manipulating of the audience. Number three, she has another sister, Chioma Chizom Mokwa, Chinfluencer on TikTok, and two brothers. None of them have shared a bit of the experience. Chizom seems to have more expressive personality and loud than Ifunanya. Even the Chizom recently did their marriage in Lagos. The father wasn't there. Number four, why admit the dad into a nursing home for rehab when she took him back to USA? I feel there is no strong sense of commitment from the entire children towards their dad's well-being. Unfortunately, it is not our Enugwu-Ukwu value. We take absolute care of our parents, whether live, home, or abroad in our homes. Number five, why attack the uncle Gabriel Mokwa in public? The person said, I did a small digging into him because I found it unclear that a man who lives in the same USA will get involved in such acts. This Gabriel Mokwa is married to Ami Desmond Mokwa and has 4 grown-up kids together. They have good publicity in the state of Massachusetts because the children are into sporting activities. Both parents are retired court officers. Number 6, this Ifunanya is using this event to build her TikTok. I met her with 60,000 followers, and within 24 hours, her followers skyrocketed to over 130,000. People are so much interested in the incident and has judged it myopically. I'm sure he's talking about somebody like us. Anyway, yeah, the situation seems kind of. So the person went further and said, Enugwu-Ukwu is really on media at present. The girl needs to be stopped. If in any way our story is found misleading, I'm proud Ada Ugu. So says another writer from that same community. Honestly, I don't know what to think of this story. The story is kind of overwhelming, very, very overwhelming, very emotional, very disturbing, considering some things we saw. But honestly, I repeat, like I said earlier, the only person who know the truth of the story that can say it as it is the only person is Mr. Peter. Why I'm saying so and why I stand on that is because we don't know what happened while he was divorced. We don't know what has been going on. We don't know everything. We don't know. We don't know. We are only hearing one person talking about the story. The other party, which is the other lady, they say she's no more alive. Mr. Gabriel is not likely to talk the way it is. Even that Chris, I learned eventually later, I think I saw the post somewhere where they said they've asked him to pull down the post. Probably they don't want to come into the public. But I don't know what to think about this story. But all in all, there are lessons to be learned, a lot of lessons to be learned in the story by everyone. So just pick what you want to pick and learn from it. Thank you.